Let's be honest, fear is one of the biggest barriers standing between you and your health goals. Not laziness, not lack of time, not even lack of resources. It's the fear of how you'll be perceived, the fear of walking into that gym and feeling every eye on you, the fear that you'll mess up the right form, that you'll look weak, that you'll be the beginner. And let me tell you something. That fear is lying to you. It's selling you the idea that staying invisible is safer than being seen trying. But nothing great was ever built in hiding. Fear thrives in the unknown. That's why the first step always feels the heaviest. You're not just moving your body, you're moving through years of mental conditioning that told you you're not ready yet. But the truth is, no one is ready in the beginning. Readiness is built by doing, not by waiting. You have to be willing to be bad before you can be good. And you have to be willing to look imperfect before you can look powerful. Think about it. The people you admire most in fitness didn't start fearless. They started scared. Too, the difference is they stepped in anyway. They understood that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in the face of it. And when you act despite fear, something amazing happens. Fear starts to shrink. Every rep you complete, every minute you show up, every workout you finish, fear loses its grip a little more. The problem is, we've been taught to see fear as a stop sign instead of a signal. But fear is just energy, and energy can be redirected. The same adrenaline that makes your palms sweat can fuel your drive. The same anxious thoughts that whisper, "What if I fail?" can be replaced with, "What if I succeed beyond anything I imagined?" This is the mental reframe that turns fear from your jailer into your coach. You must also realize this. The world is not watching you as closely as you think. Most people at the gym, on the trail, or in that class are too focused on their own journey to be your critic. And even if they do look, so what? Let them. Your courage to begin is worth more than their comfort in judging. And, in time, the very people who might have doubted you will be the ones inspired by your commitment. When you break the chains of fitness fear, you give yourself permission to be a beginner without shame. You start to see the gym, the track, the yoga studio, not as battlegrounds of comparison, but as playgrounds for growth. You stop obsessing over how you measure up to others and start focusing on how you're leveling up from your past self. That's when the process becomes exciting instead of intimidating. So here's your breakthrough. You don't have to wait for fear to vanish before you start. You start with the fear. You carry it alongside you, but you don't let it steer the wheel. You show up, you move, you learn, and you adapt. And in doing so, you prove to yourself that fear is not a wall. It's just a door you haven't opened yet. And once you walk through it, you'll realize the scariest part was simply standing outside. Health is not a body type, a dress size, or a number on a scale. True health is strength, energy, and vitality that serves your life, not someone else's beauty standards. We've been conditioned to chase ideals that aren't ours, comparing ourselves to images, to metrics, to other people's definitions. And the result, exhaustion, disappointment, and a sense that no matter what we do, we're never enough. But what if health was never meant to look like that? What if health was simply about feeling alive in your own skin every single day? Redefining health starts with permission. Permission to listen to your body without judgment. Permission to honor your needs instead of society's expectations. Permission to fuel yourself for performance, not punishment. It means asking, what makes me feel strong? What makes me feel vibrant? Instead of, will this make me look like them? When you shift your focus from appearance to experience, you start to reclaim your power. We often think health is a destination, a perfect point we must reach, but it's actually a journey. A dynamic process that evolves with every choice, every meal, every workout, every night of rest. Some days you will excel. Some days you will stumble, and both matter. Both teach you. Both move you forward. When you redefine health in this way, failure ceases to be a judgment and becomes a teacher. It's also about balance. Too many of us swing between extremes, punishing ourselves with rigorous routines or overindulging when we feel defeated. But health thrives in consistency, not perfection. Even small daily habits compound into massive results over time. Drinking water, walking, moving, resting, eating mindfully. These are the real metrics of vitality, and they are available to anyone regardless of size, shape, or age. Shame has no place in health, and comparison is its cousin. You cannot measure your worth by someone else's journey. Your health is your own. Your energy, your resilience, your clarity. These are the victories that truly matter. When you stop judging your path and start honoring it, health transforms from a burden into a privilege, a gift you give yourself because you respect your life. This shift also changes your mindset around choices. Eating vegetables becomes an act of nourishment, not punishment. Movement becomes an act of love, not discipline. Rest becomes rejuvenation, not guilt. And with this mindset, health is no longer something external you chase. It's an internal state you cultivate. Finally, redefining health empowers you to create a life of freedom instead of restriction. You wake up each day asking, how can I feel strong, vibrant, and capable today? Instead of, am I good enough yet? And in that simple question lies transformation. The moment you embrace your unique definition of health, you step into a life of courage, confidence, and unstoppable momentum. Exercise and nutrition should never be about punishing your body for what it is, but about celebrating what it can do and fueling what it can become. Too many people approach fitness as a transaction. I endure this pain. I restrict this food. I suffer now so I can look better later. And the result? Burnout, resentment, and a cycle of self-criticism that never ends. But what if instead every action you took for your body was rooted in gratitude, respect, and joy? What if every movement, every meal, every choice was a celebration of what your body allows you to do? Celebration begins with awareness. Notice the power in your legs as you walk, the rhythm of your breath as you run, the strength in your arms as you lift. Too often we overlook what the body can do because we're fixated on what it looks like. Shifting your focus from appearance to capability changes everything. Suddenly, fitness isn't a chore. It's an opportunity. Each session becomes a reminder, I am capable. I am alive. I am strong. Food, too, transforms when you celebrate rather than punish. Instead of seeing eating as a battlefield or a test of willpower, see it as nourishment. Every balanced meal, every colorful plate, every sip of water is a gift you give yourself. You're fueling your body for energy, for performance, for life. Not just to shrink, to hide, or to conform. When you honor your body this way, shame loses its power. Celebration also requires letting go of unrealistic expectations. You don't need to master every workout or eat perfectly every day. You don't need to punish yourself for a skipped gym session or an indulgent meal. Instead, each choice is an opportunity to celebrate progress, the small wins, the consistent efforts, the courage to keep showing up. These are the victories that compound over time into transformation. This mindset shift changes how you approach challenges. Pain in a workout becomes a signal of growth, not a punishment for failure. Fatigue becomes a sign of effort, not a condemnation of weakness. Even mistakes in nutrition become lessons, not reasons to hate yourself. When you celebrate rather than punish, you create a positive feedback loop that drives motivation instead of guilt. Moreover, celebrating your body encourages creativity and freedom. You start exploring new workouts, new sports, new ways to move, because you're no longer trapped by fear or shame. You dance, you lift, you hike, you stretch. all because your body allows it, all because you choose to honor it. The process becomes joyful, and joy is infinitely sustainable, unlike punishment, which always fades. Finally, living in celebration transforms your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who has to exercise or should eat right. You start seeing yourself as someone who chooses health, who celebrates their strength, who respects their body every single day. And in that choice, in that celebration, you unlock a life of energy, confidence, and unstoppable momentum. Fitness becomes freedom, and health becomes power. Shame robs people of their progress by making them believe they're unworthy to start, unworthy to continue, unworthy to succeed. It whispers lies in your ear. You don't belong here. You're not enough. Everyone is watching you fail. And those whispers can paralyze you, keeping you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and hesitation. But here's the truth: shame has no real power unless you give it yours. The moment you refuse to let shame define your journey, everything changes. To erase shame, you first have to recognize it. Notice when you're judging yourself, when you're comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Observe the thoughts that make you feel small or invisible. Awareness is the first step to liberation. Once you see shame for what it is, a story you've been told, not a truth you live, you can start to dismantle it piece by piece. Next, replace shame with self-compassion. Speak to yourself as you would to someone you deeply care about. When you stumble, instead of punishing yourself, say, "It's okay. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm doing my best." Compassion transforms your inner dialogue from a prison into a launchpad. It reminds you that imperfection is human and your effort is always worthy of respect. Shame often thrives in secrecy, so one of the most powerful steps is to step into visibility. Talk about your challenges, your fears, your setbacks. Surround yourself with people who uplift rather than judge. When you bring your journey into the light, shame loses its grip. What once felt heavy becomes shared, and shared burdens are lighter. Another key is reframing failure. Shame tells you that a mistake makes you worthless, but the truth is that every mistake is evidence of courage. Every misstep shows you are trying, learning, and moving forward. When you embrace mistakes as stepping stones rather than proof of inadequacy, shame fades and confidence grows. You also erase shame by celebrating your wins, no matter how small. Did you show up for a workout when you didn't feel like it? Did you make a healthier choice despite craving old habits? That counts. That matters. When you actively acknowledge your progress, you replace guilt and embarrassment with pride and motivation. Finally, remember this: your worth is inherent. It is not tied to the size of your body, the speed of your progress, or the approval of others. Fitness and health are journeys meant to serve you, not punish you. When you embrace that truth, when you choose to honor your efforts rather than shame your imperfections, you reclaim your power and open the door to true, fearless, unstoppable progress. Progress isn't only about visual changes. Too often we get trapped in the mirror, in the scale, in the numbers, thinking that if we don't see dramatic results, we've failed. But true progress is measured in ways the mirror can't reflect. It's in the strength that grows silently, in the endurance that surprises you, in the energy that allows you to live fully every single day. These are the real victories, the ones that last. Notice how your body feels after consistent effort. The way your lungs open with deeper breaths, the way your muscles respond with more power, the way your mind sharpens and your mood elevates. These are signals of progress, too. They may not appear in a photo, but they are undeniable proof that you are evolving. Health is about function as much as form, energy as much as aesthetics, and vitality as much as appearance. Progress is also emotional. Each time you choose courage over fear, each time you push past a mental barrier, each time you resist self-doubt, that is growth. Your confidence builds quietly, like a reservoir, so that over time, even your smallest actions feel bigger. This is the momentum that carries you through setbacks, the resilience that keeps you showing up even when results are slow. Measure your progress in habits, not perfection. Did you move today? Did you nourish yourself? Did you rest when needed? Did you take one action toward improvement, no matter how small? When you track these consistent behaviors, you realize that transformation is happening every day, even when it isn't immediately visible. Celebrate consistency. Consistency beats intensity over time. A single perfect workout doesn't change your life, but showing up day after day, week after week, month after month, that compounds into transformation. Each small win is a brick in the foundation of your future health, strength, and vitality. Your mindset is a key indicator of progress, too. Notice when fear diminishes, when shame loses its grip, when confidence rises. Notice when you speak to yourself with compassion instead of criticism, when you honor your journey instead of comparing it. These shifts are monumental, even if they aren't visible in the mirror. Finally, remember that your worth and your progress are inseparable. You are not defined by what you see in a reflection, by a number on a scale, or by the judgment of others. You are defined by your commitment, your effort, and your courage. When you measure progress beyond the mirror, you start to see the truth. Growth, health, and strength are already within you, unfolding every day through your actions, your mindset, and your persistence. Your fitness and health are yours. No one else's timeline, approval, or opinion matters. And yet, too often, we let external noise dictate our choices. Am I doing enough? Do I look right? Will they judge me? Stop. None of that matters. The moment you take ownership of your journey, you reclaim your power. You stop running someone else's race and start building your own path. One step, one choice, one victory at a time. Owning your journey begins with clarity. Ask yourself, what do I truly want from my health? What kind of energy do I want to feel? What version of myself am I striving to become? When your vision is clear, the distractions fade. Comparison loses its power, fear shrinks, and shame dissolves. You begin to operate from purpose rather than pressure. This is also about commitment. Owning your journey means showing up, even when it's inconvenient, moving, eating, resting, and caring for yourself, even when no one is watching. Real transformation isn't built on motivation alone, it's built on relentless commitment. Every time you honor that commitment, you reinforce your identity as someone who takes control of their life. Ignore the noise of others' opinions. Social media, trends, even well-meaning advice, all of it can pull you off your path. But your body, your energy, your health, they respond to what you do consistently, not what anyone else says. The louder the world gets, the more you must focus on your inner voice, your goals, and your process. Owning your journey also means embracing responsibility. No blaming, no excuses. You are the architect of your health, the driver of your fitness, the keeper of your energy. Every choice you make either moves you forward or holds you back. Recognize that power and use it. There is freedom in accountability, strength in ownership, and confidence in knowing that your results are in your hands. Celebrate your individuality. Your journey will not look like anyone else's, and that's the point. There is no one size fits all for health and fitness. Some days you'll push harder, some days you'll rest more. Some habits will stick quickly, others slowly. That's okay. The path is yours to navigate, and each step is meaningful because it's aligned with your life, your body, and your goals. Finally, understand this. When you fully own your journey, fear, shame, and doubt lose their power. You move forward with clarity, confidence, and unstoppable momentum. Your health is no longer dictated by anyone else's standards. It's guided by your choices, fueled by your courage, and celebrated in your progress. You are the captain of your body, the driver of your life, and the creator of your destiny. Fitness without fear, health without shame, and the world will have no choice but to witness your unstoppable rise. And now, as we bring this journey to a close, I want you to take a deep breath and feel it. The power that has always been inside you. Fear does not define you. Shame does not control you. The opinions of others do not steer your path. What defines you is your courage to show up, your commitment to honor your body, and your choice to live healthfully on your own terms. Remember this: fitness without fear, health without shame. It's not just a slogan. It's a promise you make to yourself every day. A promise that you will move forward no matter how uncertain the path. A promise that you will treat your body as an ally, not an enemy. A promise that you will celebrate progress, not punish yourself for imperfection. So go out there and take ownership of your journey. Step boldly into your workouts, your meals, your rest, and your life. Stand tall in the face of doubt. Embrace every challenge as growth and honor every victory, no matter how small. Your health is your freedom. Your fitness is your power, and your courage is unstoppable. This is your life. This is your body. This is your moment. Choose to live it fully, fiercely, and without apology. And when you do, you'll discover something incredible. The strongest, healthiest, most vibrant version of yourself has been waiting for you all along. Fitness without fear, health without shame. Own it, live it, and let nothing hold you back.